Hello, hockey fans. My name is David. Thought I would start this this video, at 5:45 on the morning of Saturday, 3rd September, North American Eastern Time, 9:45 a.m. GMT. In this video, respond to a claim made by David Morisuti, a Locked On Leafs podcaster, usually co-hosting the show, usually a co-host of the show with Mike DiStefano, who, by the way, also co-hosts TSN 1050 Radio's lunchtime show, Leafs Lunch 1050 with Julia Tocheri. And we're getting a while about her, but things I thought first just get out of the way. Just briefly touch on the IIHF Women's Worlds Hockey Championship, top division championship occurring in Denmark on the Jutland Peninsula. With all games to be played by the Canadian adult women's team at the Kvik Arena in Herning, in the interior of the Jutland Peninsula. Frederikshavn, the other host town, city, whatever, have been based on the northern coast of Jutland. Whatever. I'm very pleased about the progress of the Canadian women's team. Apparently, they did learn from having been humbled 5-2 against the U.S. team, and on the final day of the round robin. Hopefully, in a game to be played starting a bit after 12 noon North American Eastern Time, be on to the gold medal game to take place on Sunday in Herning at the Kvik Arena. We'll see what happens against Switzerland. But again, definitely looking forward to watching that game. The game with the American team is going to take place before that against its Czech counterpart. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Could be another U.S.-Canada gold medal game. We shall see. I mean, there could be surprises. And yes, in the women's game, it's been kind of Canada-U.S. dominating the medals, or at least with gold medal games. But maybe things will change. Who knows? So now I'm going to go to Michael Morisuti's claim made on the Locked On Leafs podcast, posted to YouTube on Friday North American Eastern Time, about how the salary cap should perhaps be going up by more than it already has during the 2020s. Well, I'd like to believe that the NHL salary cap would be higher, and perhaps there'd be more flexibility to for players to for teams to sign draftees to contracts. The problem with the Leafs is that the Leafs are among, so far, just 4 teams that do not have players on injured reserve. Among those that are above, that have a payroll that's above the salary cap, or at least the cap hit that's above the salary cap. Those teams I can think of are the Leafs, Penguins, Bruins, and Panthers. There are others as well, but the other teams are either in compliance or just hundreds, just like $100,000 or so, lighting, according to Cap Friendly, that are very close to being compliant. The Leafs are almost $1.5 million over the salary cap. So, to Morisuti's claim that the salary cap should go up, I say this: Kyle Dubas has done a terrible job of cap management. If he had offered each of Austin Matthews, John Tavares, and Mitch Marner no more cap hits of not more than $4 million, Just imagine the cap space that could have been saved. Instead, the Leafs are over the cap where they could have been well under. Ideally, a team should have at least $5 million in cap space. Ideally, more, and it'd be really good if the team has at least $10 million. The problem is, Dubas thought that by overpaying each of those forwards, he'd be able to get away with it. It's time for the board of Maple Leaf Sports Entertainment to realize that the chickens have come home to roost in the postseason time and time again. How else can Brendan Shanahan, or what I call Brendan Shanahan, the president of the Leafs, explain 6 seasons during the Leafs have qualified for postseason play? 6 in a row, 6 exits. The opening round, Leafs can't win a playoff series. It's real simple. 4 of those seasons are on Dubas as well. It's simple. If Dubas had offered Tavares, Matthews, and Marner $4 million apiece at most, just imagine the cap space. Jack Campbell, not the best goalie in the world, got an offer from the Edmonton Oilers. Per season cap hit, $5 million. Leafs couldn't afford to pay Campbell, but again, I think it was important for the Leafs to part ways with Campbell because, well, too much term. It's to try to restrict the term to 2 seasons at a time and see where the team goes. Yes, the problem. Leafs have a problem with Matt Murray with that overpay, and the Senders only retained a quarter of his cap hit. So Leafs paid $4.6 million a season or so, at least the cap hit of that, for this coming season, and for the 2023-24 one. So again, to Morris Rudy's claim in that Locked on Leafs podcast that salary cap should go up, I say this: Leafs are one of 4 teams that are above the salary cap that are at least $1 million over and have no players on injured reserve whatsoever. So, again, it's time for Dubas to trim the cap hit. He has no choice. The salary cap is a hard one. He put himself in that situation. We'll have to see what happens in terms of the playoffs and all. Certainly, during the summer or during the year, at least the hockey season, I've watched some ups and downs among Canadian national teams. So I'm going to start with among those tournaments that started or ended in 2023 that have already concluded, how well the teams did. So, the Canada under 20. Excuse me, not that. So we'll start with the adult men's team, which ended up losing 2-0 in a quarterfinal of the Beijing Olympic Games. Sweden, the offense wasn't there. It pretty much was just misfired in that game when it mattered the most. The adult women's team ended up winning a gold. April was not as kind. The under 18 men's team, ended up exiting a tournament that had taken place in the south of Germany on a low note, losing 2 straight games in overtime, last game of the round robin, and the quarterfinal game. Too many penalties and a putrid penalty kill did the under 18 men's team in big time. I will say the games were close, and that was important. So now I'm going to go to the adult men's team, which managed to redeem itself a little bit. Yes, it lost in overtime to its Finnish counterpart on Finnish soil, but at least the adult men's team got to the gold medal game after a horrible Olympic tournament. Yes, I know that NHLers were not invited. They weren't allowed to go. But again, the Hockey Canada managers should have anticipated the possibility with COVID widely circulating around the world that an outbreak would shut down potentially the NHL season, or at least indefinitely delay it. And that's what happened. The original Omicron variant. So we'll see what happens if Hockey Canada's scouting department, with respect to the adult men's team for the 2026 Milan Cortina Olympic Games, will end up having learned a thing. Because again, the adult men's team was a bust at Beijing Games. Maybe at the Milan Cortina ones, it will not be, but we shall see. So now I'm going to go to the adult men, or the under 20 men's team, which went gangbusters at the most recent relevant tournament, which ended, middle of last month. It was took place in Edmonton at Rogers Place. Won gold. And with respect to the adult women's team, it's going to be playing against its Swiss counterpart later on Saturday, and we shall see what happens there. In that semifinal, a win means gold medal game, and that's going to be really good to do. So back to the Leafs. I'm just, I like watching successful teams, and because the Leafs have yet to win a playoff series during the salary cap era, I have become disillusioned over the years, and wanting to see any Canadian team, bar the Habs, win a Stanley Cup. We'll see what happens, but among Canadian teams, the Winnipeg Jets aren't expected to do very well this coming season. Senders are, who knows how they're going to go. They're going to probably struggle to make the postseason if they even get anywhere near it. Or the Canucks, you'll either way. So, I admit that there are a lot of predictions of playoff qualifications occurring for each of the Calgary Flames and Edmonton Oilers. We shall see what happens. I certainly believe that that the Oilers have a chance of at least winning a playoff series in 2023. See if the Leafs can get there, even get into the postseason. There's been so many changes made, it's hard to know if that team's going to be able to make it. We can't get much worse than Jack Campbell. Well, sure you can. We'll see what happens. Anyway, go Canada go, and go Leafs go.